those in yellow serious.
It's quick from Bolt, terrifically speedy delivery, 85 miles per hour. It's at the pace at the moment.
He's deceptively quick at times, Bolt. He's possessed the knuckleball, the off-cutter, just those good slower balls that just float at you. So a man going out, two men out with a 30-yard circle, both on the leg side. Backward square leg and a man at wicket for the skipper on strike.
Not too surprised about that plan. He's had his troubles in the past against left armers who can get the ball to come back in, but he didn't have troubles when he scored 100 here, coming to this ground against San Francisco Unicorns. So a wonderful innings. Might have been in a losing cause, but would have done in the world of good after he'd struggled in San Francisco. He used the wind to great effect that day. It was very strong at the start of our games here. Three of the first over.
Hey, take that, Trent Bolt. Just the three off it. Some good lines, lengths, and standings. So, Unicorns freedom and qualified. Super Kings would if they could win tonight.
This is how things stand in Alexa's team standings. We've got MI New York, second from bottom with only one win. It's been a while as well since they celebrated that win, and they've got a negative net run rate. They're in between the Orcas and Knight Riders, who both struggled to 2. Texas Super Kings, we're hoping they're on a bit of a roll. Now, George Linder, no stranger to bowling with the new ball. So not too surprised that he's been tossed the ball straight away. As part of the winning My Cape Town team, who won the SA20 this year.
Yeah, far from that 100. He couldn't reach 200 that night, and then he followed up match 13 with a 69. So he's hot to trot as a skipper. Desperately need Faf to Plessis to get a big score. Cameras, just sorting them out. Smith Patel's not happy with that long off camera. It was just a little too straight for his liking.
Maybe go before George Linder and Cognizant MLC. Has he got a wicket second ball? According to the umpire, yes he does. Smith Patel not reading that one at all.
Faf du Plessis says, mate, don't think you should review this at all. Looks salmon trout, as the boys will say. That is out. And straight down the middle. Just skids on, pitching in lines, pitched about middle. Just smashing into the middle as well. Maybe the outer side middle. Yeah, it's an easy decision. You've got to get some wood on those, Smith Patel. He hasn't. And Georgie boy, he's over the moon. Let's get him up. There you go. Patel up to 3. And the Super Kings lose their first and 3.
Side Teja Makamela, who had some good scores in San Francisco, 31, 30, 38. then he's just struggled a bit here in Dallas, a 6 and a 9. In fact, he made a 38 in the first game here. Apologies for that. So started okay at this ground. Just the last couple of innings, 6 and a 9. He'd love to make good on this opportunity because he's got a lot of overs now ahead of him coming in so early.
Players will always tell you, you haven't been in the side, you haven't played for a while, this is what you want. You want to go on fairly straight on the poles. Christmas red is lit up early. Yeah, Fuff says, Smack, don't bother, son, unless you had it.
Umpire Jamalela will be hoping all the decisions are that easy today. It's been a quiet start so far. So maybe just trying to get a measure of the surface if they can, see how it's playing.
Yeah, fair call, Nat. I think that's the way to go, given that this pitch has been used quite extensively and it is dry, sort of puffs of dust yesterday. The spinners are on. Yeah, see the spinners dying down a bit more there. More wickets, better economy and everything.
Just a nice little chip over the top. Lovely. Very well played. With a little bit of pressure on Tieska. That's nicely done. It's 9 for 1.
Yeah, whistles and flags to the fore. Looking on it. This is go to where he's a classical sort of player too. It's easy on the eye. It'll feel good.
Looking to put on a partnership with Mana. Patel gone early. Just had 1 over from George Lunda on debut, going for 6 runs. He's been very economical this year in T20s. George Lunda, economy rates of just under 6.5. Certainly his best year in T20s in games, in years where he's played 10 matches. Interesting, Trent Bolt only bowling the 1 over, which went for 3. And they've gone straight to Ishara Gill.
He's sort of done it, isn't he? Nicholas Pollard this season. Unless you get a wicket, of course, you get a wicket early, but it doesn't necessarily mean you will get another bowl, depending on who's come out to bat, who's facing this fellow. He's a talent. It's going. Very pleasant to watch. Tight Fuff up, nice and straight, one off stump. A lot of us have been out there and had a good look at the surface. You mentioned dry. I know that we go to Florida and we come back here, but it's interesting, only 2 pitches used. I really thought we could have had at least 3, given the amount of games that are. There's a dozen games here. So, yeah, only the 2 strips used for this leg.
Can't really bowl that line with this field because you've got a square leg out and fine legs up. It's just too easy for Fuff to see.
Yeah, particularly with Fuff's grip, very unique grip with Fuff to proceed. His hands quite far apart. Look at the bottom end of that whip around the corner. So known for this over the years. Very good indeed. The line. No. Another one he whipped away before, and this one I reckon Fuff was looking for 6. Just to get right under it, pop it. run scorers. Hello, chaps. Good to see you. Fenelon, Mitch Owen. Didn't get any runs. He got a goal back, didn't he? And then he got a 5 for 17. Out of the game, did change. Mike Patel. And they're all starting to try and catch up to Fenelon.
Brilliant use of the feet by Faf du Plessis. Wonderful manipulation, being able to hit this ball straight.
Hello. Yeah, Gadodom, this situation is normal. Location is JVC. Thank you. Okay.
Very happy to go over the top at the moment, Faf du Plessis, and it's working a treat. 16 off the over, 25 for 1.
All whistles are squealing. Because Faf du Plessis is on the charge, and again he gets it out of the middle. Well done, Skip. And it's a class stroke over extra cover, one of the good shots that everyone loves to see in T20.
$17 to Faf du Plessis, 1-4, 2 sixes. We will see more of George Linder. We had one over of Bolt, one over of Ihsan Adil, which went for 16. It was interesting to make that change and take Bolt off straight away because his first over went for 3, and then they decided to go to Ihsan Adil.
Do love it when Faf gets the dancing shoes on. Blue suede shoes on here in Texas. Caning it too. Says Ihsan, you can't bowl this.
He is in a 6-hitting mood at the moment. It is 3 already, and he's just faced 10 deliveries.
Well, he has had a good look. Mentioning just moments ago, just taking the time, just assessing in the first 2 overs. In the third one, they went for 16. Already the bowler is under the pump here, and the second delivery goes for the maximum. We've got another NTT maxi. Come on, Georgie boy, what have you got?
That's a good reply, George Linder. To be that little bit better as well, it's going to be very important. We've seen teams struggle when the fielding hasn't been up to the standard that they want. We've seen catches dropped, and they've been expensive at times. In this tournament, likes of Shimon Hetmeyer, for example, and that heroic win, the first one for the Seattle Hawkers, he was dropped on nice and early in his innings in 22. Emmanuel going to have to find another plan to Faf du Plessis. The one right now is not working.
Got a wicket in his first. Nicholas Poran thought, yeah, we're going to have to keep him on. Positivity and the skill set to come down like this in evidence from Faf.
Here's a little bit of interesting trivia for you, Danny. Faf du Plessis in T20s has never hit a 4 against George Linder, but he has hit 6 sixes.
I'll take that every night of the week. Well, George's got to try and get out of this over now. 1 to go, 15 off.
It'll be 16 from that over from George Linder. Faf du Plessis is away. It's 41 for 1.
Yeah, a couple of good overs back to back there. Overs 3 and 4 have disappeared. So they were going in the first 2 overs only at 4.5s. Now they're going at 10 1/4. Flip the switch is Fuff.
Outstanding crowd. It's going to increase the chances at moments like this. Shuffle down the track, gets a good piece of it. Now, how about you, sir? Oh, yes. What a beauty. The very tips of the left hand and a gigantic star jump as a celebration. Go on, sir, give us a smile to go with it. Brilliant crowd catch, that one. What a grab. Trent Boult going to return for his second over. More of the same from Faf du Plessis. Fabulous stuff from him throughout the season. He's got the crowd going, a capacity crowd tonight.
Years and years of experience, Faf du Plessis, and no less than as far as skill is concerned, has become a master at the top of the order of utilizing the field restrictions, clearing the boundary, as well as that 30-meter circle. Even against a past master like Trent Boult, he is able to be effective. What a start this is for the Super Kings.
Phenomenal acceleration, 5 6s there, all coming in the span with just 9 deliveries. Really good acceleration that was needed after a cautious start.
Okay, I was just going to speak about that, actually. The fact that the first sort of 6, 8, 10 balls were about assessment of conditions. The expectation would be that it would spin, that the spinners would get some turn from the surface because of how many times it's been used. What's to check for du Plessis and for Mukamala is how much it does and the pace of it.
Looking too easy right now for Faf du Plessis. It's raining 6s in Texas. Look out up our camera gantry too. Go, Captain Faf, go.
Yeah, brilliant. Like a gunslinger. He is well on his way. Slower deliveries, faster deliveries, doesn't matter. He's able to go through with it a little to adjust for the slowness and pace. Picked it, and guess what? Another NTT Tata 6 going 295 feet.
Now a bit of fortune. Will fly to the rope. You earn your fortune with the aggression with which you play with. Du Plessis moves to 48.
Yeah, trying to change it up, change the angle. Probably just a little too wide. It's not missed by a long way. And at the beginning of the game, with the fielding restrictions in place, you don't have to. Yeah, decent bumper. Nope, it's wide, they say. Now both the umps have just gone, nope, sorry. You have to reload that one. He's not happy about it, Trent Boult, and you can understand why. Compounded by the fact that the ball is going to all parts. Let's have a look. Oh, I think it's harsh. I thought it was a good bumper first up, actually, and then looking at the replay, I'm even more convinced.
Yeah, very marginal, to say the least.
And you don't need it when you're going around the bar. You never need it. You need calls to go your way. But such is life. When it's marginal like that, on a day where you're bowling well, you get it. On a day where it's not going your way, you tend not to.
They've got a 55-run partnership. Citation Mukamala's got 6 of them. And a marvellous record at this venue. Faf du Plessis, very much his American home here. Loves it in Texas. shuffled into the leg side, won't get back for the second.
Yeah, Nicholas Quran will be scratching his head, trying to work out, okay, what do I do? Important for Bolt to get out of the over here, single there. Needs minimum damage off this final one. Who does he go to next, though? That's the question. Yep, it's making sure of the field, perhaps even indicating to somebody that you're up next over. It's about getting out of this power play with minimum damage.
Protection out there, nicely flicked by Mukamala. Will end the fifth at 64.
Yeah, lovely. Going great guns. Oh, the Texas Super Kings. Just look at that. I said 10 balls, maybe 12. Maybe 12 to have a look. And the next three suggest they've worked it out.
Yeah, remarkable start, really. 9 for 1 after 2 overs, and then 3 overs later, they've plundered 51 runs from the 3 of them, moved to 60. It's a continuing problem, isn't it, Tommy, for MI New York? The worst bowling economy in this third season of Cognizant MLC by quite a distance. They're averaging 35 runs per wicket. They're going around the park at 10.35 per over. And here's the youngster, born in St. Louis, day shy of his 22nd birthday. Heard from him in the pre-game build-up how much he's enjoying every single moment of this MLC. At the big wicket of Heiner Klassen, and also had Shimron Hetmeyer dropped. Now, if that had been held, no doubt MI New York would have won that game. They have a real challenge now bowling to Faf du Plessis, who's on a hot streak.
So all this good work, 61 for 1. I said before, you want to just make sure you hold on if you're MI New York, try and stay in the game, not too much damage, and you kind of try and work out what's acceptable as a run rate in the first 6.
50 for Faf du Plessis. It's his 89th 50-plus score in T20 cricket. Simply an icon of our sport across multiple formats, but particularly in recent years in T20 cricket. They love him here in Texas. Captain Fantastic, Faf du Plessis.
50 of 21 is a great start. Yeah, it's done decently in the season. Each time he's got 50 that they haven't won.
Clever cricket. He's played for this side, Tasia Mukamala. The fact they've stuck with him, because he's had a couple of low scores his last 2 knocks, just 6 and 9. He's a talented young player.
Yeah, a little bit of bounce. Length allowing for him to work the ball over a short third. It illustrates an awareness of where the field is. Good skills, good wrists. Also played a shot over the top, over the offside of George Linder, manipulating it to go over the offside.
Good diving stop, but they'll get through for the single. The benefit of the exposure for the likes of Garker and Mukamala. It's not just on the pitch, is it? It's off the pitch, spending time in and around the hotels with the likes of Faf du Plessis, getting to bat with them then in the middle. Learnings for young American cricketers, exceptional.
Delivery this one. Get out of the over.
get them out of the power play. Duplessis thinks it's kept a little low. Gets us to the end of the Lexus power play. And will also bring us to the strategic timeout at 67. Out comes the coaching staffs of the two sides. Mitchell McLennan, the former Kiwi left arm quick, of course, played a lot for the Mumbai Indians, didn't he, in the IPL? Great record in T20 cricket. What will he be saying, do you think, to the bowlers? And Stephen Fleming will be pretty pleased with how the batters are going.
Yeah, 67 for 1, I think, is a good start at your Texas Super Kings. What a start for Linda. Be well chuffed with the fact that he got a wicket into the side and you get the breakthrough. And then he comes up against his countryman. Duplessis, great use of the feet, pumps him down the ground for a couple of sixes. And he's found the middle of the bat, but the pace of the pitch as well, seeing it quite big, seeing the slower balls and able to adjust to them. So 50 within the power play. He's faced just 22 balls and he's been the aggressor, made sure that that boundary count is really good. And as the bowling side, you're trying to minimize that, also trying to work well with what the conditions are. And perhaps they could have been more slower deliveries. However, they don't go too hard at the bowlers in that first couple of overs. They kept it quiet and then there was a salvo from the batting team. It's kind of seesawed. Everybody getting their fair share there. A good start for Ulgaka. Go for just 7. Always batting first. There's the necessity to legislate for better conditions later on. But the balancing of that is the difficulty, because sometimes you go too hard and sometimes you don't go hard enough. And so that's where the advantage then shifts to whoever bats second.
Particularly on a night like tonight, with such a good crowd, the best of the season here at Grand Prairie, all roaring on, and the Super Kings in a big way could get carried away. Instead, you want to harness that one crowd, allow them to get right on top of the opposition. I just wonder, will they target Sonny Patel a bit? He bowled the one over in the last game, went for 15, was whipped out of the attack. He'll come on now at the end of this Lexus power play. Some of the best of it, important decisions when they don't come any more pleasant or pleasing than that one. They go on and smash into middle stump, and then Duplessis started to take the aggressive route. Really good use of the feet in particular. Front back live with you now. Do sense as though spin is going to play a big part tonight. I know Linda struck early in that over before he was then targeted by Faf Duplessis. Both sides, plenty of spin options.
It ought to. But the only way it does, and I suppose what you want as the bowling team, is that your spinners do well. All batters aware that it's being used another time this pitch, and so it's drier. And they're wonderful batting. A royal fantastic 50 by Faf Duplessis. And there's the use of the feet I'm talking about. There'll be quite a bit of that.
Nicely steered behind point, going to get 4. It's wonderful at manufacturing deliveries like that into vacant spaces. Many in American cricket, comparing to Kane Williamson, it's a gorgeous stroke. Really good at manufacturing the ball into different areas. Talented young player. I think his frustration for the season probably will be the 330s that he's made. 3 times he's got in, looked very good, and hasn't kicked on from there. They're in 3 consecutive games.
There's evidence of that use of the feet to try and dominate the spin, control things, be on top of them rather than let them dictate how things go. Just try and throw off these links on a pitch that we expect will turn just a bit.
Nine runs from Sonny Patel's first over. 7 have been bowled, 76 for 1 man. Lovely way to finish our time here in Texas, isn't it? With such a good crowd. We'll head down to Florida tomorrow. We've spoken about those problems they've had, the MI New York team, with their bowling economy's worst in the tournament.
You don't want to be consistently down the bottom there. The thing to look at as well is number of wickets. You look at who takes the wickets, and if you're taking many of them generally, the economy will be that bit better. It serves as a way to stop team scoring. You get some who manage that even if they're not taking wickets because of the way they operate, sometimes because of the nature of pitches. But yeah, you don't want to be at the bottom of both of those where you're not taking wickets and you're going to all parts at a rather hefty economy rate.
Just finding Agarkar a little difficult to get away into the surface, but nicely. Plenty of action in the big car parks and lots there filling up. Organisers talking about the sellouts, yellow versus blue. Lots of noise and atmosphere on the show. Great to see cricket taking centre stage on a Sunday night right here in Texas. We talk about the struggles with the bowling, Pom. You think about that game just a few nights ago where they made 237 against the Seattle Orcas, the winless Seattle Orcas. Is there even maybe some complacency when they went out to defend that total record in the history of the league?
I don't think so, actually. I think just as they made 237, and think about struggling teams where pressure gets applied, and there's also the desperation for victory when things haven't gone particularly well. It also kind of serves to illustrate how close the teams are, and it's not a great deal that needs to go right in order for things to go their way. MI New York themselves, I feel, have kind of been a bit here and a bit there away from actually getting victory in all their games, just about. You'll hear it said, play the big moments well, win the big moments. And I think that's where they've kind of fallen down. And they could go out in each of the games and they can pick out scenarios. And yes, hindsight's 20/20, but they can pick out scenarios where if they'd gone just that bit better in that, they might well have then ended up winning the game.
You're spot on. If you look at that net run rate, it's by far the best of the bottom 3 sides, even though they only won 1 game. That absolutely indicates they've got very, very close to more than the 1 victory that they have. They're going to need more to get into the playoffs, so it's 81 for 1.
A definite slowness in the surface. Expect more slower balls from the faster bowlers, cutters and back of the hand. And the spin to certainly be utilised.
healthy start for the Texas Super Kings. George Linda in tonight for his first game, and only one left hand in that Texas Super Kings lineup, so you understand why. Faf du Plessis has yet again found confidence, and he's hit the ball very straight as well. I think with the wind factor here, Grand Prairie, smart option. At times he's used his feet on a slower surface to get close to the ball as well. And Mukamala has been inspired. Not inspired enough, because he finds the deep mid-wicket fielder, trying to take on the game and continue to attack. He perishes.
It's the value of George Linda in that he can bowl at pretty much any stage of the innings. He can bowl with the new ball, he can bowl at this stage too. The middle phase, where spinners sometimes are about keeping the runs down, but the wickets are also important in this phase. It's broken a partnership that's brought 80 runs and almost a strike rate of 200, so it's a good time for a wicket. 25 for Mukamala, 82 for 2.
Marcus Stoinis in a 4. He's as powerful as he looks. We know he can power the ball, we know his capabilities. The question will be when. He's got back on the other end. And it's Sateja Mukamala's 4th dismissal to spin.
Just making sure that ball didn't quite arrive to him. You can see sort of reaching for it. There wasn't as much control playing out in front of his body. It's a good partnership though. Stoinis missed a few games, but his first game he looked in good touch with about hitting 4 sixes in that 28. But since then, he's played 3 innings and only 1 6. We're hoping that he finds some good form today.
2 extra covers catching in place just left of your screen, so Puran is on the attack. Puran and Patel stationed in that extra cover region where Stoinis likes to drive the ball early in his innings. Think about their bowling problems this season now. They've lacked having someone other than Tremble or Naveen who can break a partnership. In comes Linda, he's doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. The batters have been good. They've quite easily been scoring 180 plus. That hasn't been the problem. But when it comes to defending totals, they've really struggled with the ball. Even with runs on the board.
Now, with the lineup of this Texas Super Kings side, with only Akil Hossain as the left-hander, what that means for Michael Bracewell and his usage as an off-spinner this evening.
Because he's spoken quite a bit about this middle phase and how he enjoys bowling in the middle phase and keeping wickets down, keeping the runs down, I should say, and getting wickets.
Brown will be very pleased with that over after an onslaught. 86 for 2.
Maybe just a measure of control gained just a little bit from that over. It's now Linda's bowled 3 overs, 2 for 27. You're into a new partnership. Stoinis will be interested to see how long it takes to get himself in. Faf du Plessis had the luxury of doing that in the first over or 2, opening the batting. Does Stoinis have the time to do that?
El Clasico is one of the all-time games here between these two franchises, but it's a great way to introduce the sport to some folks who might be a bit new. And my man here, Zach, you're the ring man, basically. How'd you find Major League Cricket?
Yeah, so I was just scrolling Instagram one day, and it kind of came up as an ad in my feed. I was like, wait, this kind of looks sick. I'd actually seen it a couple of years prior, back when MLC started. It kind of reminded me that this is out here, so I was like, man, I got to bring some guys to come check it out, you know?
Now, you guys are all high school. You just graduated high school, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so a bunch of young guys getting into cricket. Now, he claims to be the expert. You claim that he was the expert. Yeah. How good is he been in explaining the rules?
Not gonna lie, not very good. Not very good. I was zoning out on the way here, but it's all right. It was Texas Super Kings, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so you learned that one, but you zoned out on the entire way here.
Entire way here.
All right, but you told me you were the hype man. Is that's what you guys are?
Well, I mean, we're the hype crew, you know? We gotta hype up the Texas Super Kings, you know, make them feel welcome here.
Well, they say they whistle for Texas, and you told me you got a pretty good whistle yourself. All right, let's hear the whistle. That must have been real loud. I apologize for all you guys watching at home. My goodness. All right, so all new, and you were here rooting for the Super Kings. Are they going to win tonight?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know it.
Well, there you go. New fans rooting for the Super Kings getting in on El Clasico.
Great rivalry between these two teams, that's for sure. Even Aman Patel even got him to call him sir.
That is the power of social media. I've seen it on my feed as well, and to have 6,000 fans on a Sunday evening, it speaks volumes to this rivalry. Different intensity, whether it's South Africa, the UAE, the United States of America, or India. Whenever men suit up in yellow and blue, people want to come. Just continuing that conversation from the previous over now. Look, and captains can go a number of different ways. We saw it the other day. Harmeet Singh never bowled an over because Nicholas Pooran was batting left-hander to left-arm spinner. But Bracewell has shown us this year 9 of his 70 wickets have been right-handers, but he's been expensive, going at 10s. So Pooran, if he's brave and backs Bracewell, could go to him. But also you can understand if he doesn't and goes to other options, maybe a Pollard for 1 or 2.
Come through for the second run. Might have been interesting. Plus that they will have, yes, it's two right-handers in the crease, but the one plus they have is one short of boundaries, so that does help out slightly. It can sometimes be a brave call to bring on right-on finger spinner to the right-handed batters. It was an interesting choice with the Seattle Orcas. Not using Harmeet Singh at times, and I say that because we could have made that decision even before they actually had the toss. Maybe we shouldn't play him on the day because the number of left-handers that MI New York have, that's something that I would imagine TSK also would have taken into account today with their selection. If they've gone unchanged.
Has he taken pace off that? Yeah, taken some pace off. State projected scores say 185, Faf, and many will know that several scores over 200 have been chased, 4 of them. Faf will remember pulling leg side back in match 2 in Auckland. It was Isan Adil who dismissed him when the two teams met. Both will have that just at the back of their minds. Gets away with it. So just 5 from the over, 91 for 2.
Really slowing it down towards the end of that over. 77 miles and 76 miles. So not giving much pace to work with for Faf. And you can just see how things have changed since that power play. Texas Super Kings really took advantage of the field restrictions in the first 6 overs. The last 3 overs have been very, very quiet. And quiet for Faf as well.
quite inventive with their field setting to Stoinis. Again, Puran has got himself an extra cover, and he's got George Linda at a catching cover, and also has ball at long off. So it's going to force Stoinis to hit in the leg side, which he's capable of doing. First boundary in 22 deliveries, they needed that.
Yeah, boundaries are flowing easily in the power play. It's changed quite a lot since the field's been allowed to spread. So I think conditions just start to change as the sun sets. Yeah, it's an interesting debate selection on some players. You look at Bracewell, for example, who's going to be up against a lot of right-handed batters. They wanted the extra option of spin, so they at least had that to turn to. You can bat as well. And we've had that chat about Harmeet Singh and coming up against New York not being used. We only had the 5 options anyway. And they had a whole host of left-handed batters, so just wonder from New York's point of view if he will get used at all.
And with the struggles that Puran's team has had at back end, now could be the time where you just sneak in and over, whether it's a Pollard or a Bracewell, so that you've got both for the back end, you've got one of Linda, because Adil's been expensive today, none for 21 and 2. Then you've got 21-year-old Rusha Ogarkar, who probably has to go one at the back end as well. So all of these things will be going through Nicholas Puran's mind.
Something that might be going through the mind of Faf du Plessis is that game they played here against San Francisco Unicorns. At 10 overs, they were 106 for 1, so pretty similar situation. And they were 166 for 1 after 16, and then only made 198. So possible for Faf du Plessis that that's going through his mind, and not wanting a repeat of that too, because those 4 overs, 32 for 4 they were. And then they ended up losing that game.
To recall that, and as important as it is to have set batters there, they will know in that dugout the power they possess. We've seen Ranjane, what he's capable of. We know what Donovan Ferreira can produce. Very important for Marcus Stoinis to attack, to make use of every single delivery on this surface.
State tournament sixes tallies up to 432 now. And Stoinis could be really dangerous. He's got plenty overs. He's coming at a stage where he's got time on his hands. Could be really dangerous against New York, yeah.
Much needed, decently sized over from the Texas Super Kings. 14 from it, 105 for 2.
Just pushing that run rate on along a little bit in that over. 14 runs from it. First 50 you could see was really quick. The second 50 slowed down mostly after that power play. Faf du Plessis himself has just slowed down a little bit. He was 50 of 22 after the power play. And he's just slowed down just a touch after that.
Only 24 runs between overs 7 and 10. So the 4 overs after the power play, they just went out run a ball. Remember, you never get back these deliveries. Let's talk about making up at the back end. You don't ever get them back. And here is what Nicholas Puran is thinking. He's going to sneak one of Kyron Pollard in now, who will likely take pace off the ball and ask Stoinis and Faf to hit leg side into the wind.
Up a little bit today compared to yesterday, so we can see Stoinis hitting this one from the previous over. He's hitting with the wind. It does help out, but he's got a lot of power anyway. There's a nice distance. Just a little stronger than yesterday, the wind.
Faf du Plessis, 9 runs off his last 12 deliveries. See that smile there? That smile there tells you he was trying to get away with one.
I don't think it even reached the keeper, so I'm not too sure what he was appealing for. Let's take a look at this. He had put mid-wicket and was not happy with the mid-wicket position. He had actually made mid-wicket just stand a little straighter, so he went with the shorter delivery, trying to entice him into heading out to mid-wicket. Yeah, no, that you're not getting away with that one, Karen.
He's brought deep point, a lot squarer with a deep long off and 3 leg side. Again goes pace off, smart. With some pressure building now. Is it now that Marcus Soinus looks to take him on? Judging the way that the innings has panned out so far, where they scored at 11 runs on over in the power play, and since then 7.5. Given that it's a used pitch, we were here for 2 games yesterday, probably tells you that you've got to maximize that newer ball. Faf will be knowing, given that he's had to bowl in the night times so often by losing the toss, they need a buffer, maybe 15-20 runs extra.
Dallas started with 100 and then 60 after that, 2 in a row. Now today, he finds himself on 60 from 33s. Trying to get 181, but he has just slowed down just a touch in the last couple of overs after the power play. He seems to find his range quite early on in the innings.
Attack. We're quite happy to just rotate Pollard around. I mentioned over 6,000 people coming in today to watch this game. It's our last group stage game in Dallas before we head to Florida and then come back here for the playoffs. Yellow, and you'll see the blue flag sprinkled in. Same field. It's 6 from the over. Very tight. Exactly what Nicholas Pooran, the captain, would have been wishing for. 112 for 2.
It's been a long time since Faf du Plessis hit a boundary. That was the 5th over. So it's just been a little bit on the quieter side since then. They've kept him nice and quiet. They had no answers to the onslaught initially. Since then, they've managed to just quieten things down a touch. Partnership 29 from 24.
Superb scenes. Sunday night action. It's a sellout, is the news we're hearing from the tournament's organisers, and an atmosphere that is building up and up and up, inspired by the close finishes and viral moments all throughout season 3, particularly since we've come here to Texas. Actually, fans can't get enough. As George Linda is dispatched down the ground. Du Plessis picked up a boundary since the 5th over. He's back at it again now with a straight 6, his 7th of the night, Danny Morrison.
Yeah, he's such a talent. He's been looking after his body for some years. He's 41 years young. Next month is Faf du Plessis, and I concur with Nikhil Uttamchandani. I think they need a bit of a buffer, given the nighttime situation, and it does get a little bit easier under the lights. It's just a fact of white ball cricket. Munda and his lines. That's what they do. And spinners, I'll tell you this, they need to bring those stumps into play. Look for LBWs and bowls.
Repeat the dose down the ground. 6 more. He's dealing in maximums tonight, isn't he? His 8th.
He's into the 70s now as the captain. Certainly found his range with his feet too. He's got to the pitch, and that's the secret to playing against spinners, particularly a surface that's now got a little slower and a little drier.
Doesn't like a forward against Linda, does he? Clears the ropes. Daddy, final nights of the Texas leg in the group stage led down to Florida tomorrow for the first time in MLC history. How much have you enjoyed it all? It's been chaotic, isn't it? Final over finish almost every single game, it feels like.
Oh, I love the golf too today. We'll have a VIP section, and Tommy and Bunga was showing some of his wonderful moves. The DJ was outstanding. Oh, the tunes. Yeah, the cricket's been great, no doubt, Lenny. I'm looking forward to getting to Florida as well. Oh, but look at this crowd. Super Sunday.
Hey, lots of the cricketers going up and enjoying that. We've got a few of the Freedom Boys up there. I'll tell you something, the DJ here at Grand Prix, definitely rivaling things. He's getting some great tunes going. It's so good to see the whole place packed to the rafters. Here he is getting the mixes ready. Fans young and old.
Again, it's that yellow and blue thing, isn't it? Super Kings versus an MI franchise.
He's had to wait his time to get into the team. George Linda will finish his spell. Has got 2 wickets, but he's gone for 42. It's 127 for 2.
Yeah, well, I think he may have got an opportunity a bit earlier. George Linda. Just make it with the team and who you've been coming up against, I suppose, but really found himself a little unlucky. Pitch that suits. Runs into Fuff to see. Easy.
Good building blocks here outside of the power play. They'll want to now maybe start to just shift gear a touch. Good partnership, 44 off 30, which is a very nice platform. Lisanne Adil might be one that Stoinis and du Plessis may look to target. His longevity, just remarkable, isn't it, Faf du Plessis?
Yeah, there's a few of them going around. Leaders and projections. State projector. Here we are. Well, they do well in terms of getting well over 200, but it does rely on these two gentlemen. Very experienced, Stoinis and du Plessis. Can du Plessis kick on and get 100? And can Stoinis move through the gears and get 50 himself? I'd like to see it. I'd love to see the entertainment between these two very gifted right-handers.
And those projected scores over 200, very much in the likely area again. Saw last night, maybe not in quite as dramatic a fashion. Rutherford getting it done once more with a player of the match performance. York has chased down that 2 out of 2 the Night Riders made. Here's our Remitly leading wicket takers. More Ahmed, will see him under the floodlights later. We'll also see Akil Hussain. I just wonder if maybe they pack their team with spinning goal. Mohammed Mohsen as well, but he's missed out.
Remitly, the wicket takers, the spinners may just come into their own a little bit more once we go a little bit deeper into this season. I also wonder about the surface at Lauderhill. Just wonder about it. I've always wondered about the drainage there, being a little bit of an issue. And then, of course, the weather, that could impact to it. And this time of the year, we've got the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. It's very wet, wasn't it?
Really looking forward to this, heading to Broward County. Beautiful stadium there in the city of Lauderhill, just outside Fort Lauderdale, north of Miami. And we've got 6 game days, 3 single headers, then followed by a really packed weekend and action Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 double headers. Stoinis will feel as though he's missed out there. That probably was there to be put away.
Just checking out Pollard. He's only had the one. As he come back because Delhi, this is his third. So got some variety, Nicholas Pollard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 bowlers used. There's varieties of chopping and changing your bowling arsenal. Keep the batters thinking and working things through. And Stoinis only picking up a single there, so we've got 2 to go, 1 to go now, and he had 4 singles. Pressure building.
Just as I talked about them needing to go through the gears, they've done the opposite. 15 200-plus scorers already this season. Frankly, ludicrous quality of batting and points, ball striking and batsmanship, the highest quality, allied with fantastic playing surfaces that we've been blessed with in Oakland and here in Grand Prairie. I think they'll be good down in Florida too, Danny. That's an excellent over. Credit to Sanadil. He's taken the pace off nicely. Just the 5 singles have come from it. It will take us to the second strategic timeout with the score now 32 for 2. Always a good occasion when blue meets yellow. I could have said it was the perfect start for MI New York. Sitting down towards the bottom of the table with just that one victory, and counting themselves as unlucky throughout the season, and know how important tonight is. And Faf du Plessis going on an absolute clinic of straight power hitting throughout the power play.
Yes, I was going to say the Faf of old, but he's been around a long time. He keeps doing it. Great half century for the captain. So strong and got some quality. Top of the batters, line changed a bit. He's caught the deep. He's got a 25. They're a bit annoyed about it. Showed some lovely striking, quality play to watch. The skipper, just carries on.
Go captain Faf, said the fans. Agree with you regarding Mukamala too. That's basically the 4th time he's got really well set, got in and then got out. 3 scores in the 30s, out of that 25 off 18. And the innings has mainly been about Faf du Plessis. For the bowlers, George Linda has bowled out of his 2 wickets. Michael Garker has been very good. A clever captaincy from Nicholas Pollard, getting that 6th bowler in to give him a bit of flexibility.
It's interesting now we know about Bolt. He's still got a couple up his sleeve. Lexus team standings. Yeah, it's important for the Super Kings. They like to win this and they qualify, don't they?
Come on, Danny, put you on the spot quickly. Who's going to be the top 2 and who will be the other 2 qualifiers?
Well, those are the unit ones and 3 of them. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Way up front, aren't they? Qualifying. Well, you did ask about the top 2. And then the next 2. Yeah, I think the Super Kings a bit disappointed they're going up there. And the Orcas, well, just finding their teeth, as it were. But don't write off the boys in blue just yet.
Just read out the top 4 of the table. What are you doing to me?
New York might come good. I reckon they might. Just might.
I do think one thing to consider, just going back to this Lexus points table for one more second, Danny, is that because of that superior net run rate that the Texas Super Kings have, if they can get level with the Freedom, they'll very likely edge that second spot in terms of 2 chances to get to the grand final. Big difference between finishing first and second or third. You finish third, it's the same as fourth. You've got to win every game from there. So Super Kings, if they can win tonight, they'll be right in the mix and hunting down not just the Freedom but the Unicorns too.
I'd like to see the Orchids get better than positive. Would you?
Well, I think it'd be a great story, wouldn't it? Raman Patel talking about the miracle and just the story, and could make a nice film one day. Losing 10 on the bounce, sacking everyone, and then coming back to win it all.
Matthew Mott, that's right. Asked to leave in a way. Captain stepping down.
Up towards long on and wide of him. Good stroke by Faf du Plessis. He's manufactured that. Barker has been effective from the other end. He has a change of ends to the racecourse end. And du Plessis said it's time to go now.
Just watch the bottom hand here. Extraordinary wrist work. Places it where he wants to wide of the long line. Quite comfortable. Beautifully executed from Faf du Plessis. Partnership, now it's over 50 now, courtesy of the boundary.
Doesn't have a huge amount of pace, the young man, just 1 day shy of his 22nd birthday. He'll be 22 tomorrow. Born in St. Louis in Missouri. He does have a bit of a knack, doesn't he, of just putting up the batter's rhythm.
No, to be 22 again. Just shaping it out a little bit of pace. The producer in the back of the box said no to be 32 or 42 again, for that matter.
You've got the energy of a 22-year-old, Danny. Has this clever knack, doesn't he, of almost just keeping the ball out of the hitting arc.
Yeah, you can look at ball.
Hello. Yes, good morning. This location is JVC, situation is normal. Thank you, thank you.
Get to the gap as Poran and Pollard combine beautifully to keep it to a couple.
There's discussion there, all that experience from Pollard, just discussing things with the EP. Hiding there, doesn't want to go across. See what's he going to do with this. Yeah, little split finger and across the seam. Sometimes they just kiss the leather face rather than the stitching seam. They might just skin and keep a little low. Other times they might kick off the stitching, stand up a little bit more.
Given as a wide, could he put on a yard of pace? I was down with him interviewing him before the game. He's not particularly tall. He's probably in and around your height. How do you kind of get that extra bit of pace if you're looking for it?
Yeah, a lot of hard work and that relief. Let's have a look at this first. I suppose so. It's tight. Standing high and leaping. Yeah, it's a lot of work to do. And that timing in your run-up through the crease here. Oh, hello. Let's moose this into next week. But when I look at him, what I do notice about him, he bowls over a brace front leg. He's Ugaka. Reminds me of Agaka. So when you look at his front leg, I didn't see it in this one, but he really does bowl over a brace front leg. And that's where you can derive a bit of pace from.
Might just have picked up his first wicket of the night, as Trent Bolt is never going to drop that. A wry smile on his face. Good reward for a very good over for Agarkar, who reminds Danny Morrison, Laji Tagarkar.
Yeah, Stoinis, he should be miffed because he's got in and got set 25 off 22. But kudos to the bowler. Change the pace, cross seamers. Yeah, that's easy. Trent Bolt, former black cap. Now he's a happy camper, no doubt. And Stoinis, he's gone for 25 from 22. And the Super Kings, they're 140 for 3.
Here comes the power hitting of the South African, Donovan Ferreira. There's a big impact in several games this season. Player of the match performance, actually. Getting the nod over Shubman Ranjani.
Faf du Plessis goes to 300 runs in this year's Cognizant MLC in some style. That has come right out of the screws of the bats.
Sea of yellow flags here at Grand Prairie, and rightly so. Texas are in the house. Pollard. It's a little drag down. He hasn't got the length right at all. Way too easy for du Plessis, who's almost gone into the 90s with this big strike.
Du Plessis now into the 90s with that single. Really deserved this wicket in the young Agarkar. An early birthday present for him, 22 tomorrow. Big moment for the young man.
He's got a lot of these, hasn't he? Cross seamers. A subtle change of pace. The Cognizant clutch catch from Trent Bolt in the deep.
बंदे नहीं आ रहे यार, इतने बंदे आए हैं पूरे में.
Yeah, comfortable and down his throat. Good on you, Trent. Loving the pole.
Yeah, big Nepalese community here in and around Texas. Wide of the crease. Worked into the offside though. A little bit off the toe end of the bat potentially. Ferreira will take it though. It's good reward for his positivity.
And Ferreira says, I'm going to cut that because you really, really want me to. And he just slices it beautifully behind. Divine. Yeah, once it gets through that 30-yard circle, with a good bit of pace on it, and it's straight into the deck, so often those won't go, or if it goes close to a fielder, he can get across and stop it, but the placement is perfect from Ferreira.
Looking for the second over out of Pollard, just to try and continue to have that flexibility at the deck is Nicholas Pooran. Great scene here. Definitely reminds me of the T20 World Cup last year, and we saw this place packed to the rafters at points too. Remember, the playoffs will be back here. All 4 of those matches, I'd expect, will be sellouts too. Big question, can MI New York feature in those playoffs? Super Kings are almost there, but tonight we'll put them right into the mix.
Ferreira is just getting ready here, wants to make sure he's set with his guard right. Pollard. So again, used his cheek. Naughty. Is that Bracewell? Michael, with those big mitts. Let's not stop this, and that will infuriate Byron Pollard.
Quality of the strike here, Danny. It's no more than a punches it off the back foot. Good enough to get to the rope. QDK not too happy. There's the big man, Caron Pollard. What's going on out there?
Do not sit next to KP in the dressing room later.
43 off 21 players match performance against LAKR. Pereira's immediately into his work. Duplessis getting that support at the far end that he wanted. Good over 16 from it, 156 for 3.
Yeah, nicely poised. Think about going at 2 a ball or so. They're going to get over 200. They'll want that, given that MI and New York are going to be able to know what they're chasing. They really do want to get in and get a bit of a buffer. Into the 90s now.
Well, we've seen some absolutely massive sixes from Faf. It might be a bit late for our man Mahi, but you took the screamer back in the 4th over. One-handed. How have you done that, Nick?
So here in Texas, we play cricket regularly, and my usual fielding position is at long on, and that's how I'll be taking those screamers. Yep.
So just normal day in the office. I see you got the yellow on. Name is Mahi. Got to be rooting for the Super Kings, though, yeah?
No, I'm supporting for MI New York.
So why you got the whistle? I'm sorry. Let's see the flag. He's got MI New York, but he's taking the catches from Faf Duplessis. So New York gonna win, or is Faf gonna take it away?
No, we are gonna win.
He's saying he's confident, and he took the catch, so I trust him.
Yep.
Another one-hander. I tell you, the fans have come seriously this year. They've come on business, as the youngsters say. And Ferreira is standing on business at the moment. He's got to be, because we've seen in totals of over 200 been chased in this status leg. Anything is possible for me, man.
Yes, old man. Anything is possible. They've got from this position, they maximize. Oh, goodness. 200 plus 15. Yeah, I'll just say it's testament to how good the pitches are. It's been tough work here in Texas for the bowlers. Once batters get some sort of a start, and they can absolutely cash in. On the stake projected scores, 115s actually.
Yeah, the focus for Trent Bolt, bowling over the wicket to the two right-handers, will be make them hit into the offside. He's got his deep cover there, he's got his deep long off, and if he wants, with the occasional change-up, he can go wide Yorker, or he can go pace off into the pitch.
हेलो हम यार कौन बोल रहा है 1 मिनट बिजी हो ना हाँ
How high that was. Fair enough, I guess it's marginal, it could go either way. Yeah, you have them as deliveries you can turn to with the skills you have, but bowling them to the right batter.
He squeezes it through some way, somehow. Both fielders are in the circle, he finds the gap.
Yeah, happiness for those in yellow, not so much for those in blue. They're looking for the ball to be out outside that hitting on, but he's able to reach it. That's fortuitous, whoever there was lot.
Well executed. They'll come back for 2 as well. 12 from the over, Faf 97, 168 for 3.
Yeah, he just felt that he might have lost his way when he came out of the power play, but it was just that little period where he had to assess to see how he might try and be effective, how it might look to put pressure on with the pitch slow, not quite coming on for stroke making.
Royal leading run scores, top of the list. And look at the strike rates as well. 180, Finn Allen and Owen over 200. I'm sure in 4 innings is also on the list. They've got some power.
All those players have been very good. It's not coincidence. All of them open the batting. Bats up at the front, utilize the power play, and on occasion have been able to carry on from there.
These next 17 deliveries, folks, with what we've seen transpire at this ground, although it's a used surface, conditions change drastically as the sun sets, whether the dew comes in or not, as last night showed us. So they will be constantly trying to get close to 200 and more. There's a deep point and long off. The other 3 are on the leg side into the wind. Another delivery that squeezed past the inner circle on the offside. Ferreira scored a few boundaries there.
Yeah, boundary. It's gone for 4. If you're the bowler, you must ask yourself, is that where you wanted to bowl it? And he wouldn't be criticised too much for bowling it out there. He wants him to try and get in the middle of his bat, and he'll go to the sweeper, offside or long off. Then it comes off the bottom and goes for 4. Well, nothing you can do about that. Rather than outcomes, let's look at what your plans are and whether you've executed.
And then the change of length does not work for Isan Adil. One of the smaller boundaries. Ferreira will not miss out.
It's a tough job that he must do. Donovan Ferreira come in and provide the flourish at the back end. A good boundary hitter, a powerful batter. Able to just get inside the line of that and ensure that he evades the fielder who is at long leg. As it happens, that goes all the way. Partnership of 38 from 16. Ferreira is 22 from 10.
One for the over was signal, so he cannot use his bouncer anymore in the over. Coming back for 2, good running.
Had to push it there. Hustling for sure to get back. Test of his speed, look at him go. Straight away he knows. And Duplessis feels, well, I can get back because he's got further to throw it. Ferreira well aware of the fact that he is going to the danger end. Ball tilt.
Misses his length as Isan Adil. Ferreira misses his execution. Gets away with it though, lucky because there were 2 fielders square deep on the leg side.
doesn't get this away either. That's looking for it on the pitch and then surprised by the fact that it's a full toss. First ball of the over, Faf du Plessis walked across to him, and I think it was about him trying to whack it as hard as he can. It generally is one of those that bludgeons it. But even he is looking here like he's trying to hit it too hard.
He waited on that one, and Turan waits as well. To no success. So maximum to end 20 from the 18th, 188 for 3.
Probably the best contact of the over for Donovan Ferreira. Yes, he's forcing it leg side. Picked the slower ball and had to slow down that swing of the bat. And that's good contact. Against the wind, fielder there, able to clear all of that for 6.
Trying to go pace off and short. But Ferreira waited. You were just speaking about him trying to hit the ball too hard. He waited on that one.
It kind of helped him that it was a slower ball and he picked it and kind of set himself for it. There's the bowler. Perhaps you'll feel didn't get it high enough or something, but that's the ball he was trying to bowl. Use that wind, use that boundary. Didn't quite come off.
Again, Yorker. And Faf moves to 98. Given the field dimensions and the wind, Faf may be thinking ball is going to go wide. But he's mixed it up well. He's gone wide sometimes and gone straight Yorker at other times.
It's what I was on about with regard to, we call it for batters, shot selection. But it's skill selection as the bowler, and what you have as your field, who you have as the batter. The necessity not to be predictable, but in your varying it, you can't miss is that it doesn't disappear, because that would be hitting with the wind for Ferreira. It's kind of just an easy flick again, probably born out of the fact that he's sitting there thinking you're going to go wide, and so isn't ready for the straight one and didn't expect it to go 2 in a row.
He played his first T20 in 2007. 18 years later at 40, he's still exceeding expectation and still scoring centuries in yellow. The first man to ever score multiple hundreds at age 40. Faf du Plessis, you are something else.
The captain leading from the front. Beautiful shot, power and placement, and up goes the fist. Job not done, but much appreciated already.
He will know job definitely not done. Still 8 deliveries left.
Yeah, happy for the milestone, happy for the personal achievement, and accepts the applause. He keeps racking up the numbers year after year after year, and tournament after tournament. And very effective up at the top of the order, using all of his experience.
Here's the straight line again. And it maybe tells us, Tom, just looking at the trees and some flags, it's not blowing as powerfully as it did at the start of the innings. Maybe tells us that the wind has died down and MI New York are happy to use both sides of the field, and as you said, go to the bowler's skills.
Actually, in talking to du Plessis early in our time here, he was on about how these conditions do change and the wind does die down, and when you bat, if you bat first, you have that wind to contend with.
9-6 for 3. Only 9 from that over. Correction, 8.
It's a good over. As you break things down, you might go over by over, but also you go in kind of the chunks in terms of the periods of the game. And at the back end here, when you look at who's winning it, who won it, who might look and go, hold on, there's an over there that goes for just 8. And it might, in the final analysis, make a difference. They love the act. Really do. These pictures are courtesy of camera folk who work particularly hard. At the start, they were had a chat about the game coming in, and they love the little kids going, "Get me on camera!" And many people end up on camera here. And this festival, really, it is a fantastic fate of the game.
Rushel Ugakar to the final. Pressure. That's what they will be bowling to Donovan Ferreira because of hits like that.
There's where he doesn't necessarily try to hit it hard if you're hitting the slot. He just has to swing his bat. And that's all he's done there. An MTT data 6. That's gone 282 feet. Went a long way up in the air. No reaction from Grenada Cobb. But the TSK fans, very happy with that. Yeah, first ball of the over, the final over. And how often we've seen things go this way where there is an over that shifts things. They'd have felt they've done decent work, MI New York, to this point, and it is now about closing out, but they've gone to a youngster who's missed first ball.
Adjust his length, but same result. Ferreira has finished the innings forcefully in the Cognizant MLC 2025.
He's a magnificent striker. He's just about got the measure of the case of the surface, and so now able to make good connections. Unbelievable strike rate, 264, and he's to 45 round the wicket now for Uganda.
He tried to go straight. Sometimes you see bowlers going around and going wide. They can also go heel. But this is a valuable knock from Ferreira. There were 140 folks after 15 overs.
Oh, lucky. You are so lucky. I know it's wide, he has to bowl it again, but that was going all the way for 6 as well. In the end, he's probably trying to whack it too hard, and they just helped it on its way. Yeah, flourish for sure as they finish here. The Super Kings. Tough to hang in on good pitches. It's very tough because your margin for error is so very slight.
Now, Puran and Pollard just had a consultation, and now Puran is walking to Ugakar. They're bringing up the deep backward square and pushing the deep point back. So it's going to be 3 fielders deep on the offside now and just 2 on the leg side. 2 men leg side are in front of square, so the field suggests wide. This is serious pressure. It'll be a great lesson. 21 years old, bowling to Donovan Ferreira and Faf du Plessis. These next 4 balls could be the difference between 215, 220 or 235.
Field often tells you where it's trying to go. With everybody behind, it means it's full.
Now came back over the wicket, going wide. Can he go wide from around? possible. We'll get back to that. What a knock.
Yeah, excellent. Use of the feet early on. And making sure to use the power play, and then just a little dip as he assessed how he ought to go, constructing this state century beautifully from Duplessis.
9 sixes at 40. What a life this man has lived. He's still got a lot more. He's not close to finishing.
You know what you sound like? I'll tell you, you sound like, 10-year-olds or 12-year-olds when they see guys who are 18 years old. They think, oh, this is a big old man.
Again, trying to go wide. And again, that's the reward. I just can't believe it. 40 years on planet Earth in itself is an achievement. But to do it and score 80 2000s, still be scoring them, this guy is crazy.
Oh, you're a funny fella. Sixes. What's good here, what he's done is go down the ground, and you think about him facing spin, using his feet, trying to get to it, generating some momentum. Pitch that's slow and dry.
This is interesting because he stepped across Pereira, but go wide, and Vijay Malala says he has to re-ball it.
Yeah, marginal effect. You get bowling umpires and you get batting umpires. The batting ones give no mercy. See, he's gone a long way across there. No, I reckon that's all right. I'm happy with that. Hey, that's not.
And I suppose, obviously, this is going wrong for Boubacar. Can he come with Pereira taking steps across early? Can he go heel?
Yeah, what you can never do is turn to the things that you have done and practiced. So I would suggest that it might not be a tactic that he's used or something that is practiced. Let's remember, he's a very young guy. Just 21 years old, so developing his skills and trying to work out exactly what he might use were he to be put under pressure. And here he's trying to bowl wide off stump. He's trying to ensure that he's full and wide so that Donovan Pereira can hit into that offside with the 3 sweepers, and also doesn't have as much power perhaps.
He tries again. Pereira. What power from the Super King. Joint second fastest MLC half century.
Yeah. He can whack him. 3 4s and 5 6s. And he'd have been waiting and expectant this time around, with the ball having been too wide from Boubacar. The 3 deliveries, 4 deliveries before. What a 50, what a finish, what a flourish at the back end of this Super Kings innings. It's a role particularly difficult to play, because to come in cold and try and whack boundaries, not so easy at the best of times. And many a time it can go wrong. It's gone swimmingly tonight.
18 balls, equaling Hetmire. Changes his length. Kyron Pollard is under it. Must have lost it. He was also looking at Bracewell, who was at mid-wicket. But the fact that it's not gone for a boundary will be a minor win.
Totally lost it in the lights. They ran round. I think Bracewell essentially was leaving it to him. In fact, he probably would have been going to him to say, I'm here to help you if you need, if you're kind of getting too close to the fence. And in the end, it just bounces 5 yards away.
9 This time the plan works. Wide of the stumps, he sticks to it and is rewarded.
Rice smiles all round for MI New York. And it's nicely done by Ogaka. Goes wide, happy to try and go wide, and that's the idea. Get outside the hitting arc, have him trying to fetch it so that he doesn't make the best contact. Tajinder completes the catch. Nice to see a smile on Ogaka's face. What an up though by Donovan Ferreira. Power personified, 53 from just 20. The Super Kings 2-1 for 4.
Calvin Savage has not timed it or got enough power on it to go even past the infield, so they'll complete 2 and it will be 83 off the last 5. Much needed final over with 27 coming from it. They get to 223 for 4, which we have seen been chased here before. It was these Super Kings against the Freedom.
See, there you go, Captain Bob. Very good.